Hello. So the last emotion that I'm going to talk about on these videos is rejection. So humans, all of us, we enjoy making connections with people, things, or different places or environments we're in. But we all encounter rejection in some way in our life. Rejection occurs when something or someone refuses to accept whatever is being offered or presented. It could be with friends, it could be with groups, a particular person, a job or volunteer opportunity we applied for but didn't get, a sports team we didn't make, or maybe we aren't allowed to go or do something because of a disability we have. Rejection isn't easy to handle. But there are ways we can practice or understand these situations and rejection better so that when the time comes, we know how to handle it in a way where we aren't hurting others or ourselves, and we can deal with it better versus if we didn't prepare for it. So on this video, I'm going to just talk out two scenarios. We'll see how that works and see how different responses result in different, results. So, with our first scenario, there is a guy named Lewis, and he's had a crush on a girl named Emily for a few weeks now, and he sees her here and there, but they don't really talk that much. And so Lewis wants to get to know her better. So he decides the next time he sees her, probably walking through the library, he's going to ask her out to get coffee or go on a walk, just them to get to know each other better. And so when he does ask her, she says she isn't interested and doesn't really want to get to know Lewis better. She might say some other stuff, maybe she's busy, doesn't have time, but ultimately she says no. Lewis accepts this and says he will see her around, but understands what she said and what she wanted. So this scenario is one form of rejection. So this isn't how everything goes. It's not all about relationships or dating, but this is one form where in this, both people were pretty respectful of each other's desires and boundaries, even though they were different. So Lewis wanted more with Emily, and Emily, not so much. But they both were able to respect each other. If Lewis would have responded to her instead of saying, okay, I understand, I'll see you around. If he would have responded screaming and like, what the heck? Why would you say no to me? Like, I have been thinking about doing this for so long. That would be crossing boundaries. That would be not respecting Emily's just being a person. It wouldn't respect her boundaries of her saying, no, I don't want to get to know you any better, because Lewis would be pushing himself even more. He could have also kept asking her out, like the next time he saw her, and she would have to keep saying no because that's how she felt. And this would be crossing a boundary because Emily already told him, and he shouldn't have to be told multiple times. So in this scenario, Emily was being a self-advocate, telling that was her role. She was saying, no, I want to self-advocate and I don't really want to date. I don't want to get to know you better. And Lewis was being respectful. He was being an acquaintance at that point and saying, okay, I can move on. Another scenario of rejection, once again, not limited to these, but is, let's say I applied for a job and I worked really hard to fill out this online application, and then I went in for 2 interviews in person, and I found out I didn't get it. They chose somebody else. And I was just so upset when I got that news. So I decided that I was going to write back an email to the company or the person that interviewed me, how they are making such a big mistake, and I am the perfect person for this job, and I'm going to figure out a way to get that job whether they like it or not. and I send it. So this could be one way I handle the rejection of not getting the job. Probably not the best way. Another way could be I could reflect over how that interview process happened, through just like sitting and thinking, through talking it out loud, writing it down, but kind of thinking, maybe I should have changed this, or I should have done it this way. And I can be sad about not getting the job, but in the future, when I apply for another job, because I want that role of being a worker, I'm going to keep applying to jobs till I get one, that I can change how I approach those situations so that I'm learning from the rejection rather than making it worse. So overall, rejection happens multiple ways, isn't just limited to these two scenarios, but I'm trying to keep this video kind of short. It's a really big concept. It's something hard to deal with, where we all will still be learning how to cope and deal with rejection to the end of our lives. But I do think, since we are in a time where we're staying home and we have to limit the amount of time we're with other people or being with people in general, it could be a good time to spend time in reflection about times in your life you have experienced rejection and how you responded at those times, and ways that you think, oh, that was a good response, or ways you think, I could have probably responded to this rejection better. This is what I could have done. This kind of reflection, this is what's called reflection, allows us to be prepared for future scenarios, because rejection is going to happen throughout our entire life. Reflecting and kind of making a game plan allows us to be prepared in the future to better deal with rejection and that emotion. So yeah, like I said, this is a really hard concept and something that we'll be learning throughout our lifetime, but ways that we cope, or if you don't know what cope means, it means kind of dealing with, working through this emotion. Ways that we cope or deal with rejection are different for every person, but some ideas are you could write them down, write out the situation, kind of figure out, maybe I'd change this about it. Kind of like we did with our communication charts in Rock and Relationships with body language. Or you could talk it out loud to a friend or a coach and say, what do you think? Kind of get some advice. Or maybe trying a new hobby or something different, because that can consume more of your attention, because then you're not focusing all the time and beating yourself up why that rejection happened. So these are just some ideas. But yeah, that's the last concept about emotion that I'll be covering in videos. And I will be contacting people about filling out kind of a reflection sheet to see if you liked these videos, if they made sense, whatnot. Thank you.